Hello, welcome to DTonomy's channel. Today, we are going to talk about how to leverage DTonomy's automation tool to help you create a centralized security dashboards for your security teams. Before getting started, let's look at a few examples of the Power BI dashboards for security teams. So, so for here, you can see here is an example on Power BI dashboards for cross-track endpoints. Here is brief executive reports for cross-track Spotlight. Here is the interesting one. It's essentially using Power BI as the basics, but also build up a Power BI app that integrate a variety kinds of secure tools for Microsoft, such as Azure ATP, IPC, Microsoft Defender, so on and so forth. And there are a couple of examples on your performance management, such as incident management, your device vulnerabilities, Sentinel-1, Mimecast, Tenable, CrowdStrike, so on and so forth. The beauty of the Power BI is that it's a very popular BI tools. With it, you can easily centralize all kinds of data in one place. One of the challenges is that when talking about the secure tools, like just so many secure tools that every teams are using, and it might be time consuming to create Power BI dashboards manually. So essentially, it becomes super important to have an automation in place so that you don't need to go to your tools every week or every month, like download as a CSV and manually create reports, which is error prone and also time consuming. Okay, so let's get started with the example. And I promise you, it's super easy. Just take a couple of steps, and you can start to create reports on Power BI, and also streamline. In particular, very important to streamline the automation from different secure tools. Um, okay, here is the view you see. It's the automation platforms. Essentially, we have integration with different kinds of tools. For example, CrossTrack. It has integration with detections. It has integration with instance. It has integration with vulnerabilities. It has integrations with other things, Rapid7, Tenable, uh, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's first look at the example. The first example is to create using mock data to create a Power BI dashboards on the cross-track spotlight data. One thing that the important is that so the platform itself taking the input from the cross-track where you will need the API keys, so on and so forth. And on the other hand, it's writing to the Power BI, which requires the Power BI credentials. Essentially, it's a token. You need this kind of tokens enable so that you can write back to the Power BI. So on this first automation, it's essentially is creating a table first on a Power BI. Once again, on an architecture point of view, the platform does not store data. It's about the transformations. The data pull the secure data from your third-party tools, and right into the Power BI without keeping data in in these transformation platforms. And the step one is to create a Power BI table, and step two is to continuously setting up the automation to pull data from the third party and write into the Power BI. Okay, so let's give it a try. So you can see some example here. You can specialize. For example, this is a table name, and then this is a dataset name, table name, and then in this table you have a particular schema. So note that Power BI is a table views. It has all kinds of columns, and then at the end you have a particular workspace, so which enable you to writing the data to particular workspace in Power BI and particular names. And when we click run, because we already configure the connections, so you will automatically post the data sets, post this data sets to the Power BI. Let's give it a run, and meanwhile we can see the results here. So let's give it a run, and you see it gets succeeded. Status 201. And what it does is it created a table in Power BI, and this Power BI, the name is called a demo mock. So let's look at it. This is the one that just created in right now. Let's open it up. So it's create a table. It's create a table that have all the fields that you specify automation. And you see it created a data set, and this data set has ID. This is ID here. So every data set in Power BI has ID. So once we create this table, so one thing that we need to do is to fill in the details about this data set ID. Let's fill in here. Fill in here. Save it. So we just specify the automation is pulls data and automatically update this particular data sets. So then let's click run, and then what it does is to read this mock data and then write to the Power BI, and then we have thousands of rows just write to the Power BI, and then it generates results about status 200. So now the data is pumped here. So we can start to create reports. Let's create one here, and one thing is that so you need to have a Power BI Pro license in order to uh, create dashboards. So by the way, this is the Power BI web service, and of course it has desktop version. But with the online version, you can store data in a cloud. That's the beauty of the cloud version. And also, you can have the permission-based approach to share your data and share the dashboards. Okay, let's just look at a simple one. Let's just look at. So this is a basic one table view, and we can once we select them, we can start to create some basic table views for the data sets here. Okay, so this is a simple view of the table views of the data we just pump into the Power BI. And then let's look at maybe a few different ones, like for example the severity. Uh, Severity. We can look at the severities. Host kind of by severities, and we can have. Oh, let's look at a new one. Let's look at the part pie chart, and then this looks like a host count used in some product version. Yeah, so we have different product and have showing the number of the hosts that related to the product count. Okay, so you see like within a couple of minutes, now you can start to see the data flying in the environments and pump up this nice chart, which you can share with your teams and also report. And one last thing is so you can set up this one to run automatically. So you can see here, you can repeat like at interval between times or at a certain intervals or at a specific time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or yeah. So you can schedule this to run like frequently so that you don't need to worry about presenting some weekly reports or monthly reports. The data will automatically pull from your third party and centralized in the Power BI. Yeah, so that's all I have for today. Hope you find it useful. And next time we'll talk about integration with some other tools. Thank you for your time and subscribe to us if you like it.